Hey, family, let me just tell you straight up. This episode isn't about deals or deliveries, okay? It's about legacy. I'm talking real life lessons from losing two powerhouse women in my life, my mama and my Aunt Margie, and what they taught me about generational wealth, family, and making sure your name means something long after you are gone, okay? And then I'm diving into a topic that's been making its rounds for the last few years now. That topic is, do you have to be fully healed to attract your ideal partner? My answer, nope, not always. And I'll tell you why. So welcome to episode 103 of Backstage with Ari. This one's personal, it's powerful, and possibly exactly what you need to hear today. Peace.
Hurricane, sit for this one. She's the queen of the scene, helping hungry hustlers live out their dreams. Profit and attraction, she's the CEO, turning visions into gold. Watch your business grow.
Hey, family. Listen, I done snuck into my husband's DJ room. Let me give you a little preview. It's not as probably as clean as he would want it, and he gonna be probably mad that I am sharing his little space in here. Right? This is my husband's DJ room with all his plaques from his, days of DJing, radio, clubs, concerts. He traveled all over the world, literally Amsterdam, London, everywhere. He's been everywhere, DJing for people like P. Diddy, the Beat Nuts, just all different. I know P. Diddy is not, but he used to be. You still got to respect him for what he's been able to do in the music industry. He is a trendsetter. So my husband is DJ for him, Busta Rhymes, so many other people who are really dear friends of his. But anyway, I'm in his space today because I'm waiting on him to get ready so we can hang out with my son for his 18th birthday. What I did today was went and did a little photo shoot with my son who just turned 18. And let me tell you something. I put my little camera and my little film production thingy, whatever, to work today. Let me show y'all some of these flicks I took, okay? I didn't go to Howard University television and film production for nothing. Let me show you some of these fire photos I took of my handsome son today. Wasn't those fire? Right? Okay. Again, pat myself on the back. Because I have this camera, and I paid a lot of money for this camera. And I used to use it for my podcast. And I don't use it anymore. I got two cameras. I don't use them. And this camera is a really good camera. And I still don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. I need to buy a flash for it. I need somebody to come and teach me how to use my camera. I'm going to look and see. I know A-Waiter taught me like the basics, helping me set it up and everything. But, I do pretty good. I mean, I do brand photo shoots, right? That's part of my business. I, am the creative director behind some amazing photo shoots, but they're geared towards business and positioning, entrepreneurs to talk to their audience. Because sometimes what I notice is that entrepreneurs, they will hire photographers to do photos for them. And these photographers are not brand strategists. They don't know your audience, nor do they ask about your audience. They don't know your vision. They don't know anything about your business. They don't know anything about your brand. They're just there to do what they do best, and that's take dope pictures, right? And just get a look and make sure you look good and you're posing and you look good. But I think it's always wise to have a brand strategist or a creative director who knows your audience and who knows a lot about you, so that your photos speak to those people. Because that's what the photos we put on our website for our content, like all of that stuff, it should be speaking to our audience, right? So that's why I've been able to do some amazing shoots. Let me this is impromptu, but let me share some of those pictures, right? Because I'm pretty proud of my work. So yeah, I thought I'd just throw that in there real quick. Why not, right? Just throw that in there. But yes, right. So if you need some photos and you really want to, high level, that high value, like I talk about that high value brand, then it's important to have a high value brand strategist plan your photo shoot everywhere from clothing to location to picking out your makeup artist, because some of them makeup artists don't. Someone who, a photographer that's not going to, shoot just pretty photos and shoot to edit later, but actually every picture is fire, right? 90% of your pictures are fire. You can use them. Hire me. Okay, info@artsquires.com. That's to reach my assistant. Let me know, or below in the comment. I'm gonna say in the chat. I've been watching Kai Cenat. W chat. Below in the comments, let me know. I'll reach out. We can set something up. Okay, I can come anywhere, any city, any place, any country, and get you together. Okay, but anyway, I just wanted to share something about that real quick. That's totally impromptu. I'm really here to talk about something else. You guys know this is Backstage with Ari, and during episode 101, I shared with you that I was going through something very personal that has to deal. I didn't really tell you what it was, but I told you that it was come up later, and it will come up later again. I'm not ready yet to share every single detail yet, because I'm still going through the process, but it was just something, right, that I just don't want to share yet. But I do want to share this. I want to share what I've learned about generational wealth. So what I want to share, though, what I can share right now, which I think is important, because I realize that so many people, they don't have the knowledge. And it's not because the knowledge is not out there. It's not that. I hear a lot, well, our parents only taught us what they knew. And that's true. But the information has always been there. It has not been hidden from us. It has not been under a rock. All you have to do, y'all, and I talk about this on every episode, and I will continue to do this, is pick up a book. Go to the library, go to Amazon, do some. I say go to the library because that's where you can see visually and look at titles, and you know what I'm saying, or get with my boy Haki Ami, HAKIAMMI. That's Haki Ami, HAKIAMMI. Find him on Instagram, find him on Facebook. Well, I'll put the name right here. Haki, HAKIAMMI. He has books that you need to read when it comes to financial legacy, financial wealth. Okay, especially when it comes to the Black diaspora. Okay, this is for all of y'all, because I have a lot of people being in other countries. So this is for all of you guys. Okay, so the information has always been here. However, what I want to share is what I learned about generational wealth after the death of my mother. Number one, she died in 2005. And then my Aunt Margie, who was a boss chick. My Aunt Margie was a boss chick. I talked about her in my first book, Release the Chains. And she passed away in 2022. And so I learned so much from them about generational wealth that I want to share with you. Some of this information you probably already know, but I would just want to share my story in hopes that you learn from it. So I'm going to share with you my life experiences, but hopefully you'll go pick up a book. You'll pick up a book and learn more, because generational wealth is not just your home that you live in, real estate. And I'm going to talk about that later, because let me show you this video real quick also about how the home that we currently live in, it's not an investment unless you're making money from it, right? You got to be making money from it. So we have a place here. You can see the video, right? This is the kitchen area, the living room. There's a full bedroom and closet and bathroom that you can see. And this is what we are creating in our basement. We are in an 8,000 square foot home. We don't need all that space. We don't. We really don't. So we're going to rent it out. Short-term rental, traveling nurses, whatever. And then once our son finally moves, we'll rent it out to a long-term renter for 24 months. And the beauty is that this person be paying our mortgage on top of the other land and the other real estate that we have that also currently pays our mortgage. Okay. So let me share with you really quick my story. And I'm going to share it with you really, 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 really fast. Okay. As quickly as I can, because we don't have all day. Okay. And I want you to do your own research. So my mom passed in 2005. And when she passed, she shared with me and my brother that she had created a revocable living trust, right? And that when she passed, because my mom was sick, she got cancer twice. She got breast cancer first and then lung cancer. The lung cancer, they just couldn't. They tried. And I knew that my mom knew that she was going to die. because of the way she set up everything. She made sure that when she died, me and my brother were good. She left us with a little over $500,000 to split. So had my mom lived longer, she died at 55, 54, 55. Had she lived longer, my mama would definitely be a millionaire, with probably $1 million in cash, because that's how good with money my mommy was. But she was smart. So now my mom was born in 1950, just like some of y'all mamas and daddies was born in 1950. So I ain't trying to hear that shit that it's been hidden from us, because my mama got me the information. Okay? My mama got me the information. So, and I say all that to say not to disrespect anybody and their parents, but the information is out there. Do not leave it up to your children to go and find it. Teach them now. Teach them what you didn't know. Okay? That's what my mommy did for me. So she told me that she was going to be leaving us, this trust with all these assets. Okay? Worth over $500,000. And we had clear instructions on what to do in that trust. And she said that there will be nothing we would have to do. Everything is just boom, 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 boom. Ain't nobody gonna be fighting over her stuff. Can't nobody come and claim her stuff. Nothing. Everything is written out. And that's what a trust is. So one thing that I had always thought that a trust was, I thought it was this legal document. I thought it was, well, it is. But I thought it was something that you had to file with the state, with the courts and all of that stuff. And you don't. You know that you can create your own trust. You can literally write your own trust. Now, I don't recommend it. Now, I did mine and my husband's, but I did do mine and my husband's. But the only reason why I did mine and my husband's trust, and we do have separate trusts because we have separate property. I have property that I have that's mine. He has property that's his. You get what I'm saying? We have property together that are in both trusts. You get what I'm saying? And that's okay for married couples. Okay. But I did ours because I literally duplicated. I duplicated the trust that my mom had written for me and my brother, because it was ironclad. I mean, ironclad, like no issues whatsoever. Okay, so that was the reason why I did mine. However, my mom hired an attorney to do hers, which is what I suggest. The cost to get somebody to write you a trust is anywhere from about $2,500 to about $6,000. It depends on your assets. Assets are your life insurance policies, any real estate property, any land, any vehicles, anything of a value. Some of us have, like my mom, my dad, he was that nigga. And he had jewelry and Rolexes and, expensive things. You get what I'm saying? So these are things that she wanted to allocate to me and my brother. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of stuff. But what it does is, we all know what a will is, right? So anyway, the trust, what I thought it was this public document. It's not. This is how a lot of people who are wealthy hide their assets, including, I'm not wealthy yet, wealthier than most, but not wealthy, hide their assets. So nobody can come for you. Your stuff is protected should somebody come to try to sue you for something. I have a lot of events in my home. Somebody can slip and fall down the stairs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Creditors, whatever. Somebody get mad, whatever, bad deal, whatever. My stuff is protected in this trust.
Okay, I had to pause it right here because there is a difference between a revocable trust, which I explained that my mother had, and then there are irrevocable trusts. And there are different types of irrevocable trusts that can protect your assets. So that's what I'm speaking about here. Okay, so I just had to put that in here because I didn't want anybody saying, hey, you know what? No, that's not true. Your assets are not protected in a revocable trust. Actually, they're not. Some people can't come for those if they find them. However, in an irrevocable trust, that's where your assets are completely safe. So talk to your attorney to find out what's best for you.
So it's very important that we have these things. I think all married couples, single mama, singles, dad, everybody needs to have a trust. And what it is, a trust is a business entity. If you have ever filled out a form on the IRS to get an EIN number, you look at it says LLC, it says incorporation, sole proprietor, and then it says trust. So it is a business that can have a tax ID number. Okay, so I'm just giving you this information. So anyway, back to my mother. So my mother had everything set up where she had a will. Now, there's a difference between a will and a pour over will. So it's important that when you set up the trust that you transfer your assets to the trust. A lot of people don't do that. For example, my aunt who passed away in 2022 and left me, my brother, and my aunt some property, right? Some fully paid for property that we now have to go through all this bullshit, you know what I'm saying, to get it in our names, right? But had she had set it up properly, like my mother did, it would just be an easy peasy breezy 60 days, whatever. It is open, it's easy, right? You don't have to go through the court. Your family won't have to fight for anything. Your family won't have to pay attorneys to get what you wanted them to have. Okay, so a will is just a will. A will is not what some of y'all and some of our parents have made us think that it is. As long as we have a will, then everything is fine. No. Because some of y'all not even getting the will signed properly. In some states, you have to have two witnesses to witness the signing of the will, and then the person, what's the person's name that does the stamping? You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of their name. They have a title, but they're in the banks, and then they can come to your home, but they're people who get licensed to stamp stuff, certify stuff. A notary. There we go. I knew it would come to me. I knew it. Anyway, so when you have the pour over will, you put all of your assets, your fur coats, your cars, your jewelry, your homes, your real estate, your businesses, your life insurance policies, all of those things, you put them in your pour over will. So that way it automatically pours over to your trust, and you give your trust a business name, something that can't nobody find, especially if somebody ever tries to come after you and sue you. Okay, can't nobody find it. They ain't gonna find it. This is what the wealthy do. This is what you can do, and you can do it yourself, but you gotta do it. And let me say this, please forgive me if I sound like I know more than you, or I'm better than you, or, you know, I don't want to come from that place. I'm coming from passion, and y'all know how I talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm very passionate about the things that I share. So please forgive me if I'm coming across as, you know, any kind of way that makes you uncomfortable. Okay? I'm coming from a place of love, and for us to get our stuff together. Okay? Because the information is there. We have all the tools. So I'm just sharing some stuff with you guys right now that you can use to start working on getting more information. Contact me, I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? Contact me, I'll give you some advice. Now, I'm not no attorney. I'm probably going to send you to an attorney, but I can at least share some stuff that I've been sharing with some of my friends and family who was not aware of some of the simpler stuff. Just like I wasn't. I didn't know. I had to learn. My mother had to teach me. I didn't know. We don't wake up knowing this stuff. This is stuff that we have to learn. So anyway, so you make sure on your pour over will that you pour everything over into that will. So you also want to set up a holding company as well. Okay. So speak with your attorney, because every holding company is different. Now, I learned about a holding company. My mom didn't have no holding company. I learned about a holding company when I did business with my friend Isaiah Washington, who is an actor. You know, Isaiah Washington. You can look him up, Google him. One of my very, very good friends, one of my best friends, honey. Talk about kikiing. We have a good old time when we get together. But I learned about that from him because we were doing business together. We did a couple deals together, and I noticed that everything was in his holding company. So I started asking him, like, tell me about this. What? And he schooled me. So I said, so I need to change up my trust. So anyway, so do your research, talk to an attorney, do some, but you got to have that all in your pour over will, so that when you leave this earth, your kids are not, you know, they say you got to have your affairs in order. When we hear have your affairs in order, we think of funeral, because I'm talking about the Black community. And I'm not talking about my African sisters and brothers, because y'all got it going on over there. I like the way y'all do it. You guys sit with the family, everybody come together in agreement, I love the way y'all do. We don't do that as Black Americans here. We don't. It's totally different. So y'all think get your affairs in order mean get your funeral arrangements together, what you gonna wear for your funeral, who gonna cook, who gonna clean, who gonna sing, and all that stuff. It's way more than that. Getting your affairs orders, making sure that your family is straight and set up for that generational wealth that you are working your behind off to leave them. Okay, you guys? So I just wanted to share that. So my mom had hers ironclad. Easy breezy, beautiful, peasy, beautiful cover girl. Okay? And my mother was a cover girl. You hear me? My mama was a boss. So let me talk to you about my aunt, who's also that boss chick. My Aunt Margie, and I shared this on my videos about South Africa. My Aunt Margie, single, beautiful black woman. I'm a little bit older than my mother. She's my father's oldest sister. My father was murdered. He wasn't in his home. I thought he was. He was in somebody else's home. He wasn't invading or nothing like that. He was going to help somebody get something, and through the jealousy, because my daddy was that nigga, he got murdered, right? I think he was shot like 9 times or something. So he was murdered when I was 2. So I was still, very close to his 3 sisters. So Margie was single. She owned like 5, 6, 7, 9 properties. She was that boss chick. You know what I'm saying? She worked in the school district. So I'm telling people that you don't have to be an entrepreneur to leave generational wealth. My mother was not an entrepreneur. My mom didn't even want me to be an entrepreneur. My mom wanted me to be a teacher, which is crazy because I am a teacher now. My mom worked in the school district as well, made great money, had her master's degree, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with my Aunt Margie, got her education, got her master's degree, and she was a teacher for many, many years. But she invested her money wisely. She wasn't buying Birkins, she wasn't buying Louis Vuitton, she wasn't buying Gucci, she wasn't buying fancy cars. She was building wealth so she could retire early and live her best life and travel back and forth to Africa. That sounds a lot better than me than a Louis Vuitton bag that I'm just using just to show off to people, because that's what a lot of y'all doing. I did it too. I used to do it too. I did. Now I don't care about none of that stuff. I could care less. What I care about is vacations. What I care about is my freedom. What I care about is being able to take my girlfriends out to dinner and take the tab, and it's $300-$400. That's what I want. And leaving this generational wealth to my 2 kids and my future grandkids and my current grandson Sage. Okay, so anyway, back to my Aunt Margie. So my Aunt Margie passed away in 2022, and like I said, she unfortunately, it looks like there was an attempt to get things in order properly, and I'm not saying that she didn't, because we're going through the process. At the date of the recording of this video, we are still in limbo. Okay, we're still in limbo, so I won't speak too much because I don't have all the information quite yet. However, I learned a lot. I learned how important that it is that you have these things set up well in advance, and that you continue to make adjustments to them, and that you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to have a whole bunch of assets. You don't have to be a boss chick, but you do have to be a boss chick minded. You do have to think ahead, because you will not be here forever. So I learned so much, and I'm so grateful that I was fortunate enough to be raised by Black queens who were educated, a lot of it self-taught. Yes, they went to college and all that, but y'all know they're not teaching this in school. They're not. And so I just had a conversation 2 weeks ago. Once I found out that this property was left to us, I had to let my son know that I'm leaving my portion to him. You get what I'm saying? And how he needed to handle it. Okay? Because that's important. We got to educate our kids and how they need to handle it and manage it. And that he was going to be responsible whenever I'm no longer here, because I'm totally leaving that to him. I'm not leaving that to my husband. That's going to go to my son and his children. So any hoot, I just wanted to just share that. Oh gosh, what do I want to share? What is the overarching theme here? Educate yourself. Get the knowledge. Don't sleep on you not being here. Make it easy for your beneficiaries, which are more than likely be your children, your nieces. My aunt didn't have any kids, so she left all her nieces and nephews everything, all of her real estate, all of her stuff, which makes sense, right? Because we all got that blood in us, right? So I just want to just share what I learned. And hopefully, please let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if this was beneficial to you in any way. If anything you learned new, or any kind of refresher, or maybe a reminder to get your stuff together. Oh, back to what I thought. When I said I thought that this was like some public document. It's not. I always thought that. I always thought that this was like, but no, these are private. You hear about trust fund babies and all that. Your kids can be trust fund babies. Okay? So I just wanted to share that. I hope this was beneficial. Please tell me what you learned in the chat. Okay? And I'll answer any questions that you have. Just leave them down below in the comment section. Okay. Okay, y'all. So they ready. They waiting on me. But I want to share this really quickly since I'm here in my husband's space and was down here in the basement with them this evening. I have always heard over the last 20 years or so, especially now with social media and you have the battle of the sexes, it seems like. I've been married for 20 something years. I don't even want to count right now. We got married 2003. So y'all do the math, okay? Because I keep forgetting because the years they just keep, honey, listen, they just keep adding on. They just keep adding on. I don't know. We somewhere in the 20s. That's all I know. But it's been beautiful. It's been absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. I love being married. I love being married. I love being married. I love my husband. I have a good man, Savannah. I have a good man, Savannah. I really do. I really do. And I hate to say that because I know there are people out there that, pray and if they're not happy, they don't want you to be happy. And, they put that negative energy towards you. But I don't care. Fuck y'all. Anyway, so real quick, though, because I wanted to talk about this, too. And then I'm going to be done and I'm going to go. And this is going to be real quick. I've been hearing folks talk about make sure you heal first before you get married, before you start dating. Go through your healing process. Now, mind you, and I hear it from therapists, I hear it from life coaches, and I hear it from just regular people. Now, I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm not saying that you shouldn't heal first. What I'm saying is you can still be broken. That's what I want to say. You can still be broken and go through your healing journey with your soulmate, with your person. I know it doesn't happen a lot. I know it's not common. I know, that's not typically, what happens because people who are not healed tend to attract unhealed people. You get it? I get all of that and I understand it and I get it and it makes sense. However, it is not the case for everybody. Can I say that again? It is not the case for everybody. You can go through your healing journey with your man. You can go through your healing journey with that special lady. You know how I know? Because that's what I had to do. When I was at my lowest point in my life, $5 to my name, and it was a $5 bill. Nowhere to live, sleeping in the back of a car, felony record. I wasn't really broken from a relationship, but I had my heart broke. I had somebody play me. I did. I had somebody play me, and it broke my heart. Not that I thought we was gonna be together forever, but I loved that. I loved him. I did. And I was broken. I was not in a good place mentally. But my husband, when I met him, it was a spiritual thing. He was not my ideal mate. Honey, my ideal mate was Reggie Bush type. Dark, swole, kind of short, athletically built, you know what I'm saying? Kind of rough around the edges a little bit. That was who my husband was going to be when I got in my 40s. But I met my husband when I was in my early 20s. He saw something in me at that time that I didn't even realize was in me. I didn't know my real true potential because I was so broken. But he decided that he knew who I was. He saw me and I needed him to see me in that space. So some of you are in an unhealed place. You want a man to see you that way. You want him to love you for you. You want him to see you in your worst. Because if he can love you in your worst, honey, he gonna love you in your best. And I am in my best, honey, right now. He gonna love you in your best. So you want somebody to see you. My husband saw me. He saw me and I needed somebody to see me at that time because nobody else saw me. They saw what they can get from me. They saw this little young, whatever they saw, whatever they can get from me. My husband saw what he can add to me, what I needed at that time to build me back up. Walk right on by because you listening to what your therapist, your homegirl, somebody on one of these podcasts and told you that you need to heal some dating coach. Shout out to the dating coaches because y'all doing a good thing. But somebody told you need to wait. Don't fall for the okie doke. Let things happen as they are going to happen. Be open. Be open in your journey of healing. Be open. Because if I would have been like, nah, you good, you a good man and everything, you cool and whatever, but I'm away because I need to heal first. I need to heal first. I need to go through my healing journey. I'm working on me. I would have let that good man, I would have let my husband of 20 some years walk right on by to the next chick that would have scooped his ass up and been living her best life. And I still would have been waiting for me to heal. Now, I know. Now, listen, I understand this is not for everybody. But let me go. I wanted to end with that. Take what you want. Take what you need. Tell me if you feel me or not. Did it change some thinking? Something. And I'll talk more. I'm going to talk more about this. All right. Goodbye, you guys. This is Backstage with Ari. Sorry, no business stuff this week. I ain't got time, but I do got something to share with y'all, okay? All right. I'll see y'all next week or next time. It ain't going to be next week because I'm not committed to every week. I'll see y'all next time. I love y'all.